This is the Razer Blackwidow V4 Low Profile Hyperspeed. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but this is essentially Razer taking their most iconic keyboard line and putting it on a diet. It's thinner, it's wireless, and it's packed with all kinds of features. But at $229 or £170, is it good value for money? Let's take a look. Now, I've been using this as my main keyboard for gaming, work, and general day-to-day stuff for the past couple of months. And there is a lot to like here, but also a few things that have been a bit of a pain. To start with though, I want to talk about build quality and ease of use. Now you can tell after only a few key presses that Razer have paid a lot of attention to the typing experience for this keyboard. The Blackwidow V4 Low Profile Hyperspeed is just over 19mm thick and has more of a focus on comfort, customization and control in comparison to the Razer Huntsman, which is a more esports orientated keyboard. Being a low profile keyboard means it's super comfy to use and the keys have short travel and are super responsive. I use this for both work and gaming, so I usually spend at least 8 or more hours a day using it, and so far I've had no issue with wrist or typing fatigue. The keycaps use textured double-shot PBT plastic, which is extra durable and fade resistant and has been designed to allow as much backlight as possible through the keys without glare or reflection. These of course sit on top of Razer's own low profile mechanical switches. There are 3 different colors of switches that you can order with this keyboard. Green is crisp and clicky, orange is tactile and quiet, and yellow is smooth and silent. I have the middle of the road orange switches in this model that Razer sent me, and whilst I do normally prefer a clickier switch, I have to say that I think actually these are just right. There's still a strong click with each press, but without it sounding like there's a Lego waterfall in the room with you when you're typing. Now underneath all of this is a pretty solid build. You've got a 5052 aluminium alloy top plate, which gives it a really premium look and feel. And beneath that, you've got multiple layers of foam and plastic to help keep the sound dampened and clean. Along the top of the keyboard, we have 4 fully customizable macro buttons, a media pause, play, back and forward button, which can also be customized, a power button, an AI prompt master button, a Bluetooth and Hyperspeed wireless button, and a clickable media roller, which isn't fully customizable like the other buttons, but there are changes that you can make to it. As standard though, this can turn the volume up and down and can mute or unmute. I'll talk about the macro buttons again shortly when I talk about Razer Synapse, but as for these 4 buttons, the battery button shows you just how much power you've got left in the keyboard by giving you this clever little power meter using the RGBs. You can also hold the battery button for 3 seconds to put it into a power saving mode. The AI Prompt Master button, which as standard basically just opens a ChatGPT window. And finally, the Bluetooth and Hyperspeed wireless buttons, which are used to swap between the Bluetooth and Hyperspeed wireless channels or profiles. The Hyperspeed wireless channel will give you the best performance with up to a 1000 Hz polling rate. You can connect to either the wireless Hyperspeed receiver that's included in the box, or connect to a HyperFlux V2 mousepad if you want less cables. Bluetooth is also an option and even allows you to connect to up to 3 different devices. Once connected, tap the Bluetooth button and it will cycle through the different connected devices. Red is profile 1, green is profile 2, and blue is profile 3. You can also use a wired connection should you need to. Just flick the switch on the top of the keyboard from wireless to wired and plug in a USB-C cable. Plugging in a USB-C cable will also begin charging. The Blackwidow has an impressive ultra-long battery life of up to 980 hours in power saving mode, which is really impressive, but being a Razer keyboard, you're probably going to want to light the place up with it. So its battery life really does depend on the chroma settings that you choose in Synapse. Taking a look at what you can actually do in Razer Synapse, we have the customize, lighting and power settings. In customization, we can enable gaming mode, which disables certain keys like the Copilot key or the Windows key to prevent you from accidentally hitting them and pulling you out of your game. You can change the polling rate to 125, 250, 500 or 1000 Hz. You can enable Snap Tap, which prevents 2 keys from registering simultaneously. Now this may seem like a minor thing, but it could be very useful to some. In a lot of games, when you press the A and D key at the same time, your character stands still. With Snap Tap enabled, it prevents both keys from being pressed at the same time, so the last key you pressed will override the previous one, meaning you won't accidentally stand still in the middle of a shootout. It's not for everyone, but I quite like it. Also, on the Customize screen, you can open the pairing utility, open the Windows keyboard properties, or swap between typing and gaming mode. Now, swapping between typing and gaming mode is kind of a must-do if you use this keyboard for work as well as gaming. Putting it into typing mode prevents double inputs, and I cannot tell you how many times I've messed up entering a password because I didn't know I was in gaming mode. If you do use this keyboard for more than just gaming, I would suggest setting up a gaming profile and a typing profile, and storing it into one of the 5 onboard profiles. You can swap between profiles by holding the function key and the corresponding profile button on the home, page up, delete, end, or page down keys. On the power tab, we can change how long it takes to dim or turn off. And finally, we have the lighting tab, which, let's be real, is probably the tab most of us are going to spend our time in. Here you can change the brightness, decide under what conditions to switch the lighting off, or of course, change the lighting effects themselves. There are currently 12 default effects to choose from, with effects like fire, ripple, reactive, wheel, starlight, or my personal favourite, ambient awareness, which matches the ambient colour of your screen on your keyboard. You can of course open Chroma Studio to create your own colours and effects, and even have the Blackwidow match up to your other Razer RGB peripherals. Whilst all of these do look really good, my number one complaint with the RGBs is that they don't light up the bottom row of keys. It's not the end of the world, but as the other keys do all look so good, it does unfortunately kind of stand out. Through Synapse, you can also customize the 4 macro buttons, or even the multimedia buttons and AI prompt master button. You can set these buttons to do pretty much anything, really. You can set the macro buttons to change profiles, launch a specific app, enter text, or even run a pre-recorded macro, which could be used for changing gear sets or automating a loadout. So do I think the Razer Blackwidow V4 Low Profile Hyperspeed is worth the $229, £170 price tag? Yeah, I do. I make use of pretty much every feature that the Blackwidow has to offer, with the exception of the AI prompt master button. I'm constantly switching between different devices, using either Bluetooth or the Hyperspeed wireless, and I actually have the Blackshark V3 headset, but I prefer to use the media controls on this because they're just right in front of me. And as far as gaming goes on it, it's just super responsive. The keys feel tight and stable, and I found the macro keys have come in handy for a couple of different games. I did have some problems at the start with day-to-day typing, but after working out that I can create a typing profile, those problems disappeared pretty quick. If you're looking for a high-spec esports keyboard, the Razer Huntsman might be a better choice for you. But if you're looking for features and ease of use as a more casual gamer, then the Blackwidow is probably for you. Thanks again to Razer for sending this to me to review, and I'll see you in the next one.